you don't have to have a lot of inventory. And that's one thing that I tell my teammates all the time. You're here to make money. You're not here to spend money. So what we did a little bit of research and finding out the things that cause us to have a lot of inventory. And then we'll talk about what you can do to offload some of that inventory.
Welcome to the Other 99% podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Duck, a coffee-loving direct sales enthusiast who's obsessed with a good digital system. Come join me for a realistic look into the world of direct sales. We'll explore inspiring perspectives, learn about unique business tips, and celebrate success stories that often go untold. Because on the other 99%, every seller matters.
Hey everyone, it is me, Lisa, and welcome back to another episode of The Other 99%. I'm here with my co-host, Susan Larimer, and guys, we got something to talk to you about today. It's something that a lot of people have, but sort of try to keep quiet because it's not something that they are necessarily proud of, and that is excessive inventory or stock from their business. And I mean, like I said, a lot of people don't like to speak that word out loud. It's like, and it's really odd because I know that there are some people who it's like, hey, I have inventory, and they shout it from the rooftops. But I think typically those are people who do a lot of vendor events that they know that they're going to sell off stock. Like say over the weekend, they'll get rid of $4,000 or $5,000 worth of inventory. In that case, it's not necessarily a bad idea to have some on hand, but today, Susan and I are going to talk to you about, the little things that we're doing maybe in our business that cause us to grow this inventory, and then we get stuck with it because we don't know how to move it. So, Susan, do you have any words of advice there just to start off?
Yeah, well, the inspiration for this podcast topic came from one of our previous guests, Audrey Peacock, and we asked her what kind of advice she would give new sellers. She's with Jay Bloom, and she said, you don't have to have a lot of inventory. And that's one thing that I tell my teammates all the time. You're here to make money. You're not here to spend money. So what we did a little bit of research and finding out the things that cause us to have a lot of inventory. And then we'll talk about what you can do to offload some of that inventory. So take a look at your shelves right now. You're in direct sales. Take a look at your stash. Maybe you have them on shelves. Maybe you have them in totes or boxes. Take a look and really kind of think about how you accumulated so many products. Hopefully, this episode will give you ideas on what you can do to make money on those products that you've accumulated. So let's dive in.
I just want to start by saying, don't think that you're a failure if you have this issue. I mean, we're all guilty of it. When Epicure closed down in January, the first thing that I did was I know I have excess stock here. Let me inventory it and get rid of it. And I was quite happy that I didn't have a ton of it. And I was very, very mindful of how I did purchase inventory. A lot of my stuff I got through host benefits, so it was free stuff to me anyway. So it wasn't costing me money to have it there. But I also know that there were a lot of people in Epicure that had thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of inventory, and they were just overwhelmed once Epicure closed because they just didn't know what to do to move it. So I'm hoping that if you find yourself in a situation where even if you have $100, $200 worth of inventory that you don't necessarily need, I hope this episode comes in handy for you on ways to move it and turn that inventory into money, because let's face it, we're all in this business to make money, like you said, Susan, right?
And it's funny to have a shelf life. They will expire. So if you
Yeah.
don't move them, the worst thing for me is when I look at an expiration date on one of my products and it's 2 years old, and I'm like, I have to throw away a full jar of something, and that just breaks my heart. So, if you have products like totes or jewelry or things like that that don't expire, you have more time. But a lot of us are in an industry or in a company where we have products that expire. So don't keep them. Don't keep them. You got to keep moving everything.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I find the number one reason that a lot of people overbuy is because the companies are really good at putting out that FOMO message. It's like, these are limited time offers, and if you don't get them now, you're never going to get them. And then you have this thought in the back of your head saying, well, if I don't grab some now, my customers won't get them because they won't be there for when they want to purchase them. So I better stock up on like maybe 10, but then you start selling to your customers and they're purchasing directly online from you. So you're still stuck with these 10 after your customers have already purchased, right? So try not to let that fear of missing out sort of derail you and end up costing you money because you're now hoarding. Plus, not to mention, you now have 10 products or 10 items sitting on your shelf that another customer or another consultant would have happily
Exactly.
taken and given to their customer to make them happy, right?
Yeah. We have these things called bliss boxes, and they're like seasonal boxes. And there's a limited number. And we as consultants, we don't even know how many. It could be 5,000, it could be 10,000. We don't know the number. So when they come out, we know as consultants, we usually get to pre order them. And then our customers can order them. We have no idea when they're going to sell out. It could be one time it was 2 hours. It could last 2 weeks, and we don't know. Everybody falls into that FOMO, like, oh my gosh, if I don't get one now, I'm going to miss out. But here's the problem I have with this is some of our consultants purchase like 20 or 30 of them. They have no homes for them, but they purchase them so that they can get them. And then, like a week or two later, you'll see on our Facebook group, oh, does anyone want this? Like, I'll ship it to you for free. You can buy it from me. And I'm like, why did you buy so many? Because you prevented my customers and other consultants from purchasing them because you're hoarding them. So don't hoard products. Purchase one, maybe two, but don't over purchase.
And then this one, it's like I admit it being guilty of it in the intro. It's like, you got all this product sitting there for free. It's like, well, why not just like
Yeah.
stock up on it, right? What I ended up doing near the end of probably not near the end, but probably within the last 5 years of my Epicure business, I ended up using them as gifts, and I would just absorb the shipping cost, but I would send my customers like great, I called them epic prize packs. So, don't feel like you have to bring all that free stuff into your house. You can use it to grow your business other ways. And we're going to touch more on that in a minute.
Yeah. So those are all of our hostess rewards, all those things you get free as a hostess. You're like, oh, I'm the hostess. Well, I get to have all these free products and half price items. I can't just let it go. I mean, that's just not smart either. But like Lisa said, think of how you can use them in your business after you receive them. Or, I mean, things like that I use to restock my own supply. So if I'm the hostess, I get free products. That's when I get my shampoo and my skincare products. So you can be really smart about it, but don't accumulate so much stuff. And then the third one we're going to talk about is the auto ship. So some of our companies have auto shipments. Lemongrass Spot, we did. I don't think anyone really took advantage of it, but that's not something we have. But I was telling Lisa before this episode started, I have on auto ship from Amazon all of my cleaning supplies, my paper towels, my toilet paper, toothpaste, like all of that comes auto ship. So thankfully, like a week before they're going to ship, I'll get an email saying, hey, now's the time to inventory, go through the order and say what you need or take off what you don't. And 9 times out of 10, I'm good about getting in there. But last month, it snuck up on me. I don't know, probably Memorial Day weekend, it snuck up on me. And then all of a sudden, I had like 4 huge Amazon boxes on my porch with all the stuff I didn't really need yet. So auto ship can get you into trouble.
Yeah, I mean, auto ship is the one thing that I'm really hesitant on in the whole direct sales network marketing field. I feel that a lot of people go on auto ship and just the stuff just keeps coming.
Yeah.
And if you're not consuming it, if you're not using it, don't let it like pile up in your house just because your upline or your company says that you have to start the month off with X number of PV or QV or whatever you call it. It doesn't have to be that way, right? I mean, you need to be using it for it to be beneficial. Don't just let the auto ship just sit there and just pile up. That's just nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we're probably all guilty of this and buying something. It's like, I think so and so would love this. I can use it as a gift, or I can use this when the what do they call it? Like hope-based buying. I know I can use this or so and so, and just it never happens. People always talk about. Have you ever heard the closet gifts? That
Yes.
term, closet gifts. Yes, it's like, no, you don't need a bunch of closet gifts, because chances are when Christmas comes, you're not going to your closet to fulfill that gift. You're going to Amazon or the mall or something like that. So don't fill your closet up with gifts that you hope on gifting.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, and then comparison pressure. Don't just purchase things like Lisa said because your upline does, because another consultant does. You know what you need and how much you need, and maybe how much your local customers need. Some people, like Lisa said, they do vendor events. So they're purchasing big quantities of products, but they're going to hopefully sell them. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I guess I should have that much product on hand too. So don't compare yourself to anybody else.
Well, and that comparison thing can get you into real big trouble if you are what I call a carrot chaser. And if there's any kind of company incentive out there and they show like who's leading, and it's like that, oh, I have to beat them. All I have to do is place a $200 order and I'll be above them. And it's like, stop, just stop. Like, unless you can go out and actually sell that $200, please, please, please don't just go and buy it just to get that shiny, I don't know, coffee cup or that beach towel or whatever it is, because you don't really need it.
Yeah.
The companies are probably going to hate us
I
talking
know.
about this, but I mean,
We're focused on the consultant.
exactly.
But that's another point too. Sometimes you have to sell a certain amount to maintain your level. So I've had this conversation with other directors too. We have to sell a certain amount every month. Our team has to sell a certain amount. Don't feel like $500 away from making my level. Don't do that. Don't spend that $500, because guess what? If it's happening this month and you're, biting your nails, getting close to the end of the month and you're not meeting your goals, it's probably going to happen next month too. So focus on growing your business and getting ready for next month versus spending money just to maintain that title and getting paid at that title. That can be, even yesterday we have an incentive. If you're green by 15, if you have so much in sales and your team does, our company gives you some kind of product. Maybe it's an exclusive product or whatever. And this year or this month, it's this cute, it's like a fanny pack, but like a crossbody purse. And it has the
Mm-hmm.
lemongrass logo on it. And I've been wanting this thing for like a year. I could purchase it. It's probably only like $30, but it was the incentive this month. And personal sales, I'm there. My team was like $500 short. And I'm like, I could purchase them their $500 and get it, but I'm like, well, I'm going to pay $500 for this stupid little toad. So don't do
Yeah.
that. So I didn't earn it. Fine.
Yeah. When the thought enters your mind, just walk away from your
Yes.
computer and rethink about it before you hit send on that
Yes.
$500
Or
order,
run it by
because
somebody else. Say, is this a good idea? And when you say it out loud, you're going to be like, no, that is not a good idea.
and then the last one that I want to chat about is, when we do a lot of like in-person parties, thinking that we need to have the product there for them to purchase and take home with them. A
Yeah.
lot of party plan companies right now, they have like quick shipping times, the shipping rates, they're not really that expensive when you think about it overall. So don't feel that you need to have that product there on hand for them to purchase. I remember back when I started direct sales and my Mary Kay, as soon as I joined Mary Kay, I got a call from one of the nationals, my upline national, and the conversation was, so what inventory purchase are you going to make? And I'm like, wait, whoa, I didn't come into this to spend any money,
Right.
right? And the amounts weren't like small. It wasn't like $100 inventory. They kept on telling you, and they're good salesmen, and they kept on telling you about how You can't run your business on an empty wagon, and you need to have this because people want to make impulse purchases. I ended up buying just a small amount of inventory, but they always have, for the higher inventory you purchase, maybe there is a little gift that goes along with it. Because I remember back then it was like if you bought X number of dollars, you got the whole Mary Kay carrying case that came with it. And it's like, yeah, well, you need a carrying case to
Yeah,
carry that
right.
much inventory. But it was one of those things. But don't fall into that, and don't feel that people are not willing to wait for the products.
Yeah.
They almost expect that when they're going into a party, and they don't expect to get it right there.
Yeah. And one thing that's good with my company, we have products that are so naturally made that they have an expiration date. They expire
Hmm.
within usually like a year after you purchase it. They're just not going to work as well. They're not going to smell as fresh. So that's one thing I'm thankful that we were trained early on, is that you don't want to keep inventory. So you want to say to your customers, like, it comes fresh from the warehouse and it has a made on date, manufactured on this date. And a lot of times when they get their products, they can look on the bottom and it was made like 2 weeks ago. Like, you can't find that on a store. Those products sit there for weeks or months or years. So that's one thing that you can say to your customer, like, you want this fresh from the factory.
Hmm.
You don't want it from my inventory, what's been sitting in my guest room for, 6 months, 2 years. So use that as I don't know, a reminder to your customers why you don't have inventory.
Exactly. All right. So how could we change our mind shift, like, around stockpiling?
Yeah, so we have some questions here that you can kind of run yourself through to see, should I make this purchase or should I not? So, the first thing, ask yourself this before every order: do I already have something on hand that meets this need? Do I already have this specific product? Maybe it's a different scent or maybe it's a little different, but do I really need this? How many do I already have? So that's a good question to ask.
Yeah. And then, when you run out of something, like, what if I focus on selling what I already have first? So people will buy, and I'm a big believer, people will buy what you share. So heck, if you have a bunch of cleanser, why not do a whole week devoted to, why cleanser, what cleanser does to your skin, why should you use it at least twice a day, all this stuff. People will buy what you're sharing, so focus on what you have a lot of on hand before you start reordering stuff because you might be a little low on this or that.
Yeah, I love that. That leads us into the next one, is be more creative. When you only have a little bit of stock, you're focused on a little bit of product. So like you said, you can be creative in really promoting that specific product instead of accumulating more product.
And then the last one is, think about this, your shelf is a solution station, not a storage closet.
I love that.
You really want to be able to use it. When I purchased anything from Epicure, I always went with the products that I knew my customers would be calling me with, that Epicure emergency. Like, I'm out of 3 onion, I need that 3 onion, like, stat, or, oh my goodness, the cha cha chili, or the crispy crunchy coating mix. I knew those things would sell. I knew that I used them frequently in my home. So those are the products that I focused on putting in my inventory. So when Epicure did close, I didn't have a ton of stuff
Mhm.
that is sitting there unclaimed, right? There's a few things that came as gifts and or part of, like, mystery packs that Epicure might have put out once in a while, where you go for that impulse buy because, oh, you don't want to miss out, and then
Yeah.
you get these products and it's like, well, yeah, they just cleared out the warehouse, so these are products that I don't want either.
Right. And that happens a lot too. You impulse buy these things and then they're not available to the customers anymore. It's a limited time. Now I have like all of this one product and my customers may love it, but they can't purchase it. So I'm stuck
Yeah.
with all of it. They can purchase from me, but they're like, ooh, I want to order more on the website. It's not available. Yeah. And don't feel like you have to take advantage of every, like sometimes we get like a spend $75, get 50% off of this high end skincare product. Well, you're still paying like $30 out of pocket for this half off item. And then you're stuck with it unless you're going to give it to someone or sell it or whatever. So don't feel like you have to take advantage of every single offer that comes your way. Yeah, I think Lisa, you're right. Our companies are not going to like us in this topic. We're just being
mean,
smart.
our whole goal is to make you come into this business and make it profitable, right? I mean, and I think that's maybe why direct sales gets such a bad rap, is because a lot of people come in and they fall into this pit of, inventory or impulse buying and stuff like that. And then when they walk away because they're not making any money, they
Right.
say that the business model failed.
Yeah.
Well, no, the business model didn't fail. You just weren't taught the proper, mindset or thought process on how to run your business, because you need to run this business like you're a business owner.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose is to put money in your bank at the end of the month,
Yeah.
not give your company every cent that you've made plus some, right?
Yeah.
I always say that I jump into direct sales companies sometimes just as what do you want to call them? Like a casual consultant, because I know that that's the most inexpensive way to get products that I buy. Now, if there's something that I use on a regular basis, it makes absolute sense to go in and grab those products at a discount price, even if I don't plan on selling to my friends and family, because I know the business, but I don't get stuck on, oh my God, that sale is here and I need to stock up on that.
Yeah.
Am I going to use it? Who am I going to sell it to? I'm not
Right.
sharing it with my
It's
customers,
such a
right?
good deal, Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to take, like, if you feel like you're falling into this trap, take like this month or start, July 1st or whatever, and say, okay, this is how much I spent on the company's products. This is how much I sold, and look at that profit and say, okay, did I make money or did I spend more than I made? And I think a lot of people will be surprised, like, okay, I'm not making any money. It looks like I get a paycheck, I get commission, but that commission is from my sales. You
Yeah.
don't want it to be like that.
Yeah, exactly. And
You
and
don't,
the way the companies have it, that's what it looks like, right? It's like, well, I made money at the end of the month. No, you just paid it at the beginning. That's all.
I mean, they say you should be your best customer, meaning you should use the products that you're selling. But I don't know if I am my best customer. Well, I don't know. That would be interesting. I use the products from head to toe, but I'm making money on the products, and I know that I'm
Agree.
taking advantage of those hostess rewards and my consultant discount and things like that. So take a really good look at your income and compare it to what you're spending, and make some smart choices based on that.
Just want to clarify. It's like there are things that you're going to buy. Now, if you would have bought these products, no matter if you were a consultant or not, then purchasing them is smart, because you're getting them at the discount, right? You're not making money on yourself, but you're getting the discount off your products. And if you would have purchased those same products off of myself or Susan, then it's absolutely smart to buy them as a consultant.
Yeah.
But what we're talking about is, like you said, the people in your company who buy 20 bliss boxes. They're
Right.
not going to use 20 bliss
Right.
boxes a month. So
Yeah.
so why buy that? Like maybe one, have an extra one on hand in case your neighbor down the street says, oh my God, I missed it and I really wanted to have it. But you don't
Right.
need to have 20 of
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah.
So, in the next section here, we're going to talk about 5 ways that you can move your inventory and make money from it. Jump in the comments, send us a message if you're guilty of this and if you're stuck on what to do. We're happy to jump in and have a conversation with you on, how to put these things together and move this and put that inventory, turn it into cash dollars. And I was always lucky because I knew, I always had like great parties with Epicure and I always had tons of free stuff. So I could do a lot of these things and end up coming out making a ton of money by moving the products in these ways. So I love that we put this list together for you. So did you want to start, Susan?
Yeah, the first one I love. So create like a mystery bundle or a mystery bag. People love mysteries. If they love your product line and they are regular customers, they're going to be like, I don't care what's in it. Like, I want it. So you can collect a collection of full size, maybe samples, put it together in a cute little, like a box or some kind of decorative bag, maybe put some confetti in it or a fun note and say, you can price it. Say, hey, you're getting $50 worth of products for $35. You're not going to know what's in it, but it's hand packed for you because you know your customers, so you kind of know what they like. But that's a great way. You're making money. They can send you $35. Most likely, you didn't pay full price for these products, so you
Mm-hmm.
are going to be making money. But just keep in mind, you're going to have to pay shipping. You're going to have to pay for any additional supplies like the bags or the box that you put it in. But people love mysteries. And if you say, I only have 5 available, so these are going to go to the first 5 people who comment mystery bundle in the comments, because even though we don't want to get caught up in the FOMO, we want our customers to get caught up.
Now, I just want to jump in and say it's like I used to use this method all the time. Epicure at one point came up with these things they called Santa packs, and they came out maybe 2 years in a row, and then they stopped doing them. But my customers absolutely loved them. And so what I did, I started creating my own. But I wouldn't just do Santa packs, I would do bunny packs at Easter, or I would do, Christmas and July packs in the summer. And I would do that exact thing. I would go and I would take and look at what I have in inventory and I would value it out, see how much it is. And then I would put maybe $80 worth of products in there for $50. Now, you did mention something about you would have to pay the shipping. I was always open with my customers. This is a great deal you're getting. However, you could pick it up for free. But if you want it shipped direct to your house, the shipping cost is to you if you're not close by, right? Because the deal I was giving them was such a great deal that they would be more than welcome to pay the shipping costs, right? It usually ended up benefiting them in the long run. And when I packed the boxes, I made sure I was packing quality products. I wasn't just trying to get rid of my clearance products or, the stuff that I really didn't want. I made sure there was products that like were well loved, like a 3 onion bottle or a marinara bottle, or there was crispy crunchy coating mix or something like that. So be mindful of that. You don't want to just fill these boxes or bags with, I don't want to say crap, but just stuff you don't want to get rid of or
Yeah,
that you
because
want to
you
get
want
rid
these
of
people to purchase
because
again. Yeah, you
exactly.
can
Because if
do
you
this
do
like
that,
seasonally. Yeah,
yep,
this
yep,
is my
they're not
quarterly
coming
mystery
back.
bundle sale. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so keep that in mind when you're doing that. But those work really well. And especially if you have an email list or if you're doing like an open house or if you have a Facebook group, those are great things to offer inside your Facebook group.
Yeah.
All right. The next one we can talk about is host like a quick flash sale or inventory sale. So this could be like on your Facebook Live or on a video or something like that. It can be in something like Oh My High, where you're going to be offering things like coming up soon with forms where you could sell stuff.
Mm.
So it could be something like that. But think about that, like offering like quick inventory sales,
Yeah. I
right?
think about our friend Hillary
Yeah.
with 31. So 31 went out of business. Our friend Hillary had a ton of totes and bags and purses and wallets. And I think it was like over 2 or 3 days, she was on Facebook Live for like 2 hours at a time. She would show the product, it would have a number. Whoever said sold first, they got it. They would arrange for payment. And she got rid of a ton of inventory. So when you do something like that, People are watching. They may know what they want, but they may see another bag that they're like, ooh, I've never seen that. They're going to comment because, again, it's that the FOMO, but the what's it called? You're getting caught up in the moment.
Yeah, it's like, well, they don't know who's going to take it. And if they
Yeah,
want it, it's like, it's the
impulse
first, I
shopping.
only have one.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And then another one is create like themed sets. So we talked about the mystery bundle. They don't know what they're getting in the mystery bundle, but we might have like a summer theme. So if I have a lot of like sunscreen, our bugaboo insect repellent, and our after sun lotion, that is a great bundle I can put together. I can sell it at a discounted price or at full price and do free shipping or whatever. So think about what kind of products you can bundle together and offer as a set.
Okay. So the next one is, gift with purchase. This is a great way to move product that you already have on hand and get sales, coming in, because you could offer your customers the first 10 people, you might have 10 products that you can give away. So the first 10 orders of $100 or more that come in by and then give a deadline will get a free gift valued at X number of dollars. This will help you increase your sales, which is what you want because you want to be making money. So use that inventory that's sitting there and make it your money maker and offer that free gift.
Yeah, I love that. So another one is use inventory as a fundraiser incentive. So a lot of times we use our direct sales business as a fundraiser. So this can be like make a $25 donation and you get a free product with that. It can be a $5 product, or maybe you get an entry into winning one of the mystery bundles or something like that. So connecting your product to a purpose, and that gets the community excited also.
Yeah. And then one last one I want to share is offering I don't want to say offering a subscription or a refill club, because most of our companies have, like for Susan, a Bliss box or something like with Epicure, we have the Epic box. But use that inventory and say, if you purchase this Bliss box for 3 consecutive months, you'll automatically receive a gift valued at this amount. And then that just keeps your customers there for the long term, and it tries to keep them loyal. And once somebody gets hooked on something like that, they're used to it coming in, they're used to using it, they're going to see the value of that, and you're going to see that 3 months turn into 6 months, 12 months and beyond.
Yeah. It can almost be like a gateway into a subscription. Here's a starter kit based on the products I have excess inventory of, and then say, okay, next month you can try this product. So it's kind of an intro to a monthly club.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so basically, let's kind of summarize everything that we've talked about. Some lessons, do's and don'ts. Don't get caught up in the excitement. You're here to make money, not spend money. What else? Your inventory doesn't define your success. You do. Your creativity does. What else can we tell everyone?
And then one thing is, like, you do not have to have a shelf full of good intentions. Like, I would rather see money in your bank account than a bunch of inventory on the shelf, because like I said, you're not going to walk away from a business that you're running successfully, but you're going to walk away from a business that is costing you.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Because we want you to stay in direct sales for a long time. Like
Yeah.
this episode is not
No.
at all saying that you shouldn't be in direct sales. It's just like things to watch out for. You came into the business to make money, not to spend
Right.
it. So
Exactly. Yeah. So even when you're about to place another order, look at your stash. Look at your inventory. Maybe it's not the same scented lotion that I love or I've been using, but I might try a different scent because I have it and it's going to go bad if I don't use it. So use your own inventory up
yeah.
before you place
And
another.
what I loved when I was using Epicure, if I didn't have something, I would try to use a different product in the same way.
Yeah.
So be creative.
Yeah.
Be creative what you do have on hand, because you never know when you're going to find your next favorite.
Yeah.
If you keep using the same old stuff over and over, you never get the opportunity to try new things. And I think a lot of people, maybe that's why they get stuck in that purchase mode. It's like because they want to try it all,
Yeah.
but you're not going to love it all. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care what company you're with, you're not going to love every single product that they sell,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And give
Yeah.
things away too. I mean, I know one of our products, our lip butters, it's like a gateway drug. I
Yeah.
mean, if someone tries the lip butter, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, like what else does this company have? So if you have a lot of lip butters or a lot of like mini lotions, give them away. Let people try them for free, knowing that it'll probably come back in an order.
Yeah,
So be
for sure.
generous. Be generous.
All right, everyone. Well, I know we just threw a lot at you. And like I said, the whole purpose of this episode was just to give you some tips on sort of how to move that inventory and make some money if you do find yourself stuck with a lot of inventory. And also a few little tips on how to prevent yourself going forward from stockpiling, because there's nothing worse than looking in a room or in a closet or in a bin in the garage and saying, oh my God, what am I going to do with all this stuff? Right. And I can tell you one thing, that if you have someone over your house, or if you're talking about the amount of inventory that you have, it is not a great sponsoring conversation. People do not want to think that they have to like have another room in their house to store
All right.
all this stuff. So if you're posting images on Instagram or Facebook of you standing in front of like a pile of inventory, that's probably not the best suggestion I would have for you, right? You need to tell people or show people how they can make money in this business. So
Yeah.
I hope that we provided you with a ton of tips and takeaways. And Susan and I look forward to joining you on another episode of The Other 99%, everyone. We'll see you again next week. Take care. Bye.
That's a wrap for today's episode of The Other 99%. We just want to say thank you. It truly means the world to us that you're here. Lisa and I absolutely love creating these episodes for you, and we're so grateful to have you in our community. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to like, share with a friend, leave a review, and subscribe so you never miss a new episode. We drop fresh content every Tuesday. Got thoughts, questions, or ideas? Leave us a comment. Want to be a guest on the show? We would love to chat with you. Apply by clicking the link in the show notes. Thanks again for spending time with us today, and we'll catch you on the next episode of The Other 99%.